I normally don't like starting a part at the end of a day, but we just had a lot of cutscenes. Welcome back to Persona 4 Golden. Last time, we made a bit of progress in the investigation, and now we're gonna just go and study. So there's a random chance of getting the +3, and I don't think we really need it right now, but if we do get lucky and get a lot of +3s, we can increase knowledge earlier than we normally would. And that lets us start something in the Velvet Room a bit earlier than we normally would, but we didn't get +3 there. Oh well, it's not entirely necessary. And hey, a pinch and a punch for the first in a month. I think back in Persona 3 I found out which countries had that saying. Yeah, back at school some people did the punch part a lot harder. Actually no, the pinch was worse. The pinch was way worse. Yes, it's not supposed to be very hard, but some people got kind of rough with it. Especially with the counter variant, a flick and a kick for being so quick. So they kind of want you to grind Yukiko today, but we're not going to do that. We are instead going to check out a few things in town. And, hi there, fourth wall, thank you for dying. We actually had access to a lot of this before. It's where I got the footage for that lecture talking about personas and shadows. And, because of this, the game will now update you whenever these TV listings update. I'm gonna go and save and show that off. Back in the main menu. So here we have the option for TV listings. P4 Golden is just the main game, and the one over on the side lets you rewatch cutscenes. I'm not going to show that because some of the cutscene titles are spoilers. And here, Yasovision lets you basically listen to music from the game. It's pretty much a sound test.
Hee hee ho, Music King. A special presentation of 2012's luscious voices.
So yeah, these here are, vocal tracks. Jacktoons is trailers, Japanese trailers to be exact, for earlier games in the series. Song Battle 2012 is footage from past live concerts. I doubt I'll ever be showing any of this in the playthrough because there's probably copyright issues. And Mr. Edagawa's TV Classroom is what I showed a bit of before. I didn't actually show the full lecture. And I probably will show the full lecture once I have time. So before we do anything else, I will say that I am actually redoing this episode, and that's because I missed a very, very important fusion forecast today. This is one of those forecasts that is unique to a specific persona. That's a little bit redundant, I just realized. Also, my notes say to talk to the lady in front of the, bookstore. Oh, okay then. Yep, Tanaka's still at it. It looks like his time with the P3 protagonist hasn't really changed his ways all that much. We'll find out more about that when it's time. Okay, so we're actually going to hang out with Marie today, but if we go here, then we're going to end up entering the Velvet Room. But don't worry, you don't lose access to her. You can just see her via check on Dwellers. But anyway, what we want to check here is Fusion Forecast. If we create Jack Frost, not only does he get bonus stats, he also gets Resist Fire, which covers up his only weakness, and I'm definitely not going to pass up on that. I will have to get rid of Eligor for this, but honestly, I am not really that fussed with keeping Eligor right now, and I think what I'll go for is... I still want Hummer, and I'd like Tarunda and Rakunda. Sukunda is decent, but it's not reliable. I'd rather have the attack and defense debuffs for now. And so, here we have, assuming it's... No, it's not an accident, Atlus's mascot. And considering that Sega owns Atlus now, someone in the comments suggested this, I would kind of like to see Jack Frost in a Sega All-Stars racing game. That'd be kind of cool. But anyway, we're getting a bit of experience thanks to the Magician's social link. Jack Frost is actually incredibly good in this game. Because not only does he have a fusion forecast that gets rid of his one weakness, he's also one of the earliest personas to get Mind Charge. Yes, he learns Mind Charge. That's kind of insane. So we're gonna just take Jack Frost and head out. Actually, we do need a chariot persona for later, so before we leave, just so that I don't forget later... Slime's cheaper, let's get Slime. It also means that I can fuse Resist Physical onto something else later. So now that we've done that, I'm gonna check out the North Shopping Districts. Because there's actually a semi-familiar face around here. His clothing may be different, but it's the creepy kid who hit on Yukiko at the beginning. Well, I wouldn't agree with the second part of the sentence, but I would agree with the first. Thankfully, that doesn't cost the afternoon listening to that. It turns out there may be some biker gangs roaming about. I wouldn't exactly call those people dignified. No more drinks, they're gonna restock on Monday. But I want to go to the floodplain now, because there's both a marked and an unmarked quest here. The unmarked quest is down these stairs. Firstly though, hey, aren't you the politician from the news? And it makes sense he's saying this because one of the victims in this case was his lover, so things must be hard for him right now. But we actually want to talk to this old man here. It just so happens that we do have a fishhook. And JRPG logic dictates that anytime a random NPC asks for something, you usually will be rewarded for giving it to them. I think there's like one thing in a game I've seen that actually doesn't do that. Like there's a quest in Mega Man Battle Network 3 where you actually don't want to hand over the items the quest giver is requesting because he's actually kind of shady and will take them from you before you can use them to get some treasure. But tangents aside, we get the river rod here. We can fish now. I don't think this sequence of events was in the original PS2 game. I think you either started with the fishing rod or got it via a different method. We need to go all the way to the end of the floodplain here, but first... Hi there, Spacey Girl. Showa and Heisei are the names of eras in Japan, and at the time Persona 4 came out it was still Heisei, but it's no longer Heisei, it's actually the Reiwa era now. The government has apparently denied that the kanji in that means order or command, but some people aren't convinced. Anyway, that's more a Persona 5 issue. Let's talk to this guy about the quest he has. But anyway, yeah, era names in Japan change whenever the current emperor abdicates or dies. I wonder who's managing the place now. So you're essentially asking a high schooler to get alcohol for you, which I know in my country is illegal, but I don't know if it's... I'm guessing it's probably illegal in Japan too, but hey, it's a side quest, we'll do it. So we have this quest. Now, normally you'd think you could get that from the Konishi liquor store, but actually you can't. We're gonna need to go back into the TV world to get one of those, but that will be for later. For now, it's time to head inside the Velvet Room and talk to Marie.
Huh?
So we don't have the matching persona bonus for this one, but I will just say it's not necessary. The reason for that is that none of the dialogue choices in this rank up give any points. So 0 times 1.5 is still 0. The matching persona wouldn't really help anyway. We're gonna need a spend time event regardless, and by the time we do that, we will have a matching persona. So don't worry, I have planned ahead.
Hey.
Time sale. That sounds like they're selling time, but that just reminds me of a bit of Jupiter Ascending. For anyone who likes laughing at terrible movies, I would recommend watching that. It's very entertaining for all the wrong reasons. And this time, Chie is going to be the one to run into Marie. Unfortunately, we don't have the option to say she's our sister this time. She doesn't seem to be in a social mood right now. Oh yeah, a lot of stuff. Stuff that you wouldn't believe. Stuff that you probably want to forget as well. Just stay away from that TV next to it, because that one's kind of reserved for us.
Whatever.
That is Tsundere code for you do. Well, you know, that pretty much is the Midnight Channel in a lot of ways. Especially Yukiko's show.
Why?
That's kind of all of them, except silent movies. Considering the track record of Velvet Room Assistants, I don't think you should, really, pay much attention to what they're telling you. I mean, Elizabeth thought that machine oil was oil for cooking machines.
Huh?
This just reminds me of the kind of reactions that I'd likely get if I told them that I don't watch Netflix. Or really any streaming services. I really just can get most things that I want to watch off of YouTube anyway. And I don't mean like pirated stuff, I mean like, you know, YouTube creators. That's more the kind of thing that I tend to watch these days. I love how Marie mispronounces this. Although it reminds me of, like, there was an old show about someone who come from medieval times to the modern world who, calls electricity electricery. Yeah, the room she's talking about is kind of weird. You best not to think too hard about it. I just noticed too, it actually says Junes on the katakana on that sign right behind Marie. She finished hers before the others had even touched theirs. I love how blunt Marie is sometimes. Marie knows nothing of social graces.
Oh!
This conversation reminds me, I've actually overheard a conversation exactly like this in Japanese once. It was kind of interesting finding out that Japanese kids beg for things in toy stores exactly the same way English-speaking kids do. They were saying something like kore hitsuyo, which is literally like, this is necessary. But it's more like, I want this. Well, I mean, a lot of people don't remember their very early childhood. But Marie's goes a little deeper than that. Yep, we have an amnesiac on our hands.
Nope.
You did say that before. maybe you used to live here? And what would be the this you're referring to? Okay, so you used to like to comb your hair. That doesn't really narrow things down. And so, Aeon Rank 2. This reminds me that the title of one of the episodes in Persona 4 Golden, the animation, which is basically a second anime for Persona 4 that, this time was done by the people who created the anime cutscenes for the game, I think. But it's pretty much just all Marie scenes. It's one of the main reasons why Marie is so contentious within the fandom. But the second episode of that, I believe, is just called I Have Amnesia. Is that so bad? Don't say that yet. We can help you find your memories.
How stupid.
And Chie walks in right as things are getting awkward. Yes, the atmosphere feels heavy for some reason, to use that quote from Persona 3 Tartarus. I don't know if it shows up on the male protagonist route, but it definitely is on the female one if you're romancing multiple guys, and yeah, I've watched those scenes on YouTube, they're kind of funny.
See ya.
So, that was our day.
Welcome home.
And tonight, we're just gonna go ahead and study again. No boost to knowledge yet, though. And unfortunately, today's rainy. No midnight channel, though, because as Yukiko is about to say, it won't be raining at night. A lot of people were wondering, like, how she survived in there for that long without food, but I like to think that time flows differently in there. As a matter of fact, we actually do have plans. It's not tough, like, we've got a nice family. I mean, I'm sure it's tough for her when she has family gatherings, but we've already gone over those issues. I mean, we fought them. So I think it's starting from this point that certain changes happen in the TV world on rainy days. I don't think that actually happened when we were in Yu-Gi-Oh's castle last time, because we did go in on a rainy day. You know, are you sure it was Pythagoras who said that, or a certain Persona 5 spoiler character? Pythagoras was really weird, by the way. There's just... and a lot of the info on him is really conflicting. Like, in fact, a lot of people aren't even sure if he even came up with his famous theorem. I still, like, why is this guy of all people telling us this? You'd think that he'd want to avoid that. But what he's alluding to is that you do get points towards all of your school social links if you do well on your exams. And for that reason, we're going to try and do as well on our exams as possible. Now, we can't actually top the first exam, and there is actually a special reward if you do top the first exam, and I'll show that from a New Game Plus once I get there. But I think if you, like, study every night, you might have enough knowledge for that, but we don't following the guide. Anyway, we already know about clubs, but there's something else we need to talk to you about. This reminds me of those dream catchers that some people used to use when I was a kid. But she wants an angel statue. We actually don't know where this is, but we'll try and find it. This line just reminds me of the outtakes of Toy Story 2. And a key. I don't know what it's for, but you never know. So we have another quest accepted. And there's one more if we go, well, not right outside our classroom, but down here we have this guy we can talk to. Interestingly, it's a rainy day, but the Sun social link isn't available. It's probably because exams are coming up. I'm guessing that's like a club where you actually do nothing, but just kind of pretend that it's a real club. I guess we appreciate the dark arts, though we don't really have anything with Mudo on us at this point. But he's a little bit more knowledgeable about where to get his item. So, this guy's alluding to the fact that these things might be dropped by phantom mages in Yukiko's castle. Yes, I will accept this quest from the Edgelord Club, or Chuninbyo. I feel like these guys are probably all just Chuninbyo, which I think is what, like, Odin/Owain in Fire Emblem was supposed to be, and Gundam Tanaka from Danganronpa is. But I find it kind of hilarious that I think it was the Caligula effect that actually localized that term as Edgelord, and to be honest, that's not actually a bad localization. But, down here, I think, yep, we can talk to this guy to get one more quest. So I mentioned the radio-loving guy earlier, but we need to talk to him here. It's actually not changing the subject at all, because it's directly related to him making that crystal radio. He needs a Ritz wire. So basically, these are items that drop from enemies in Yukiko's castle. The problem is, these items don't start dropping until you accept the quest, so you actually are forced to go back there at least once. Thing is, though, we'd be forced to go back there anyway, because there is something new if you go back into Yukiko's castle after clearing it the first time. Something terrifying that I'm really not looking forward to. But we're gonna grab all of those quest items while we're here. In fact, something that I haven't actually shown. Okay. I had some people say that if you had higher courage, you might be able to, but I don't think that's true. I could be wrong, though. Anyway, what we're going to do today is we're going to eat Mega Beef Ball again, and for this Mega Beef Ball, the stats that we're looking for are understanding, knowledge, and courage. So I'll see you back here once I've got those. Okay, that only took 2 attempts. Yeah, this is first mention of her name, so Aika is canon to the games now, but sadly she doesn't ever make a physical appearance. I really wish they added her as a new social link, that would have been great.
An Inaba Credit Union ATM to the north of town was destroyed today by an earth mover, and all cash inside was stolen. The vehicle, which was abandoned at the scene, had been reported stolen by a local contractor. Since the culprit was able to act quickly before the security guards arrived on the scene, the police have...
Yeah, I think you know what it means when there's a crime around here.
Hello, Dad? Yeah, I'm okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. He said to give you the phone. He can't take those days off.
Hello? Sorry, but I'm gonna be late tonight. Make sure you lock up before you go to sleep. And about that time off on the 4th and the 5th, one of the younger guys got sick. And, well, that case he's handling, we can't just let it sit. Looks like I'm the only one who can take over for him.
Yeah, I understand, but yeah, she's not going to be happy about this.
Sorry to spring this on you all of a sudden. How's Nanako holding up? Would you mind comforting her for me? Thanks. All right then. See you.
I mean, I understand the feeling when you're a child and you've had time off promised, but it just doesn't happen. But on the other hand, Dojima's job is really important. So, it was suggested that we study for exams, but you know what we're going to do instead? We're going to eat an expired, dried up pickle in the fridge. Because Yu Narukami. Okay, it tastes good, but it still makes you sick. These days being marked in red means they're holidays. It's Golden Week, but sadly, yeah, can't take that time off with the family. Golden Week is just a period in Japan where a whole bunch of public holidays line up in a row. It's one of the few breaks that students get. Although, sometimes I mainly know it because a lot of gacha games have deals for it for some reason.
Oh, morning.
Oh, cool, you're home. Hey, if you're free today, want to go somewhere? Yukiko's coming too. How about you, Nanako-chan? Want to come?
Huh? I can come?
It might not be the outing that you wanted, but you can still have one.
Of course you can.
Why'd you bring poor Nanako-chan to a place like this on Golden Week?
Actually, she requested it.
Where else is there to go?
I love Junes.
Nanako-chan.
But we were supposed to go on a real trip somewhere. We were going to make boxed lunches.
Oh right, I think you may have forgot that.
Wow, you can make boxed lunches, Nanako-chan?
This is the first time seeing it. I really like Yukiko's casual winter outfit.
Oh, so you're the family cook? Pretty impressive, big bro.
Big bro.
And so it begins.
Whoa, you can cook? Well, you do seem to be great with your hands. Never mind.
What was that supposed to mean?
I'm a pretty good cook too, you know. Probably.
Yu Narukami felt terrified for a reason that he can't quite explain.
If you'd asked, I would have whipped up some boxed lunches. Easy as pie. Yeah.
Let me think about no.
What makes you think I can't cook? Let's have a cook-off and see for ourselves.
My, doth the lady protest too much? And hey, I never said I cooked. But I have this weird feeling like I'd win anyway.
I can understand that.
What the? Yukiko!
Here, Nanako-chan can be our judge. I bet we'll make something that ranks up there with your mom's cooking, Nanako-chan.
I don't have a mom. She died in an accident.
And this is our first time hearing about this.
Hey, Yosuke.
I see.
Well, you didn't know, but you should still apologize.
Sorry. I didn't know.
It's okay. Even if I don't have a mom, I have Dad with me. And now I have a brother, too. And I'm having a lot of fun today. I love Junes.
Yeah? That's good.
We'll play with you anytime you want, Nanako-chan.
Yeah, we should hang out more often.
Come on, Nanako-chan. Let's go get a soda.
Okay.
Oh, I already bought out all the vending machines of tap soda. Sorry.
She's a strong girl.
Yeah, she makes me feel like I'm the little kid here. That's it. I'm gonna go get something for Nanako-chan, too.
Do you want something too?
I guess we all knew this was coming. Justice is a very complicated arcana with a lot of different meanings. At face value, it represents literal justice, fairness, and the law. And also, quite fittingly for this game, the truth and the search for the truth. But from there it branches off into two broad sub-meanings. The first is an individual discovering their own personal sense of morality for the first time. Learning how they see things in relation to the world, and often leading to the discovery that the world isn't as black and white as they thought. Think a child discovering and reacting to the world's more difficult concepts. This is the meaning that I feel fits Nanako herself the most. The second meaning is the idea that all actions have consequences. This is represented by the double-edged sword on the card, along with the scales, which also represents the importance of making fair and impartial decisions. When viewed this way, the card is all about learning to take responsibility for the consequences of your actions, and understanding the impact that those consequences will have on others. This, I feel, doesn't so much relate to Nanako herself, but it relates a lot to what she brings out in the people around her. The Arcana's meaning may be complicated, but in terms of what personas fall under it, it's very simple. All of them are various orders of angels from Judeo-Christian mythology. And gameplay-wise, they all focus on light skills. And while many of them are weak to dark, almost all of them learn a skill that either mitigates the effects of dark or resists or nulls it entirely. So they may have dangerous weaknesses early on, but they'll lose those if you stick with them. Justice as a social link is represented by the protagonist's cousin, Nanako Dojima, and hers is unique in a lot of ways. Firstly, it's a nighttime social link. Secondly, it doesn't have a set schedule. The nights that Nanako is available depend entirely on the nights that a certain other social link, Hierophant, isn't available. And with that, even though we haven't started Hierophant, you can probably tell who it is. But nighttime social links don't conflict with much, and we'll have a lot of opportunities to hang out with her over the course of the game. And we will need that, because look at those point requirements. Despite Nanako being a very important character to the story who actually lives with the protagonist, her social link is one of the hardest to rank up in the entire game, if not the hardest. Because not only are the points very high, but ranks 4 and 6 are gated off by the protagonist's expression stats. You need level 3 and level 5 expression respectively. This one will require multiple spend time events even with a matching persona, and speaking of which, it's recommended that you carry a Justice persona at all times, because there are a lot of dialogue choices in story scenes that give you points with Nanako, and most of them come with no warning while you have no access to the Velvet Room. Overall, this is one social link you should never neglect, although anyone who would even consider that clearly has no soul.
Want to share some takoyaki?
As long as it's not the weird kind from Tatsumi Port Island. Okay, so Dojima is out tonight, and that means we can freely go out. So he'll actually be coming home fairly soon. And that is kind of a problem, because when he's in the house, you can't go out at night unless you have a nighttime part-time job, which we don't have the stats for yet. Have I talked to these two before? Yeah, that boss is not exactly setting a good example. I have heard that, like, work culture in Japan, they kind of force you to go out for drinks with them to the point where you basically have no free time to yourself. Anyway, though, accessing the Velvet Room at night. So do I'm pretty sure I have Angel.
Welcome to the Velvet Room.
And we're getting this scene, okay. I think this happens after you get to Aeon Rank 2. You're asking her to get a TV, aren't you?
Oh.
Yes, dropped it. Well, we'll say that. She dropped it. Completely by accident. No foul play involved at all.
What is this?
Maybe.
Huh?
Okay, I don't think I've ever seen that line before.
Welcome to the Velvet Room.
Maybe one day we'll get to see what's on that paper. Okay, yes, I do have Angel, and I do have a Moikane. That is good, because Angel's a Justice Arcana persona, and we'll soon be hanging out with Nanako at night, and for that we will actually need a Justice Arcana persona, definitely, because Nanako's social link, as I no doubt have already explained to you in the bio, is a complete pain. Oh, okay. The guide is telling us to save reload abuse for +3 if knowledge is below expert at this point. And yeah, the game is explaining to us there the benefits of getting a good score on exams. Okay, we did get +3.